follow section 18, 19, 20 and 21. So these sections are not very lengthy sections. They are very small sections, except section 18, whereby you need to cooperate. So let me explain that section first, and then other sections are just one-liner, whereby not much of importance required from your end, or even examination point of view, that is not so very important. So here we will be talking about section 18, which talks about availability of credit, that is same ITC, input tax credit, in special cases or special circumstances. In section 18, we have subsection 1, which is further subdivided in 4 sub-clauses. So section 18, subsection 1, clause A. So subsection 1 talks about subject to such condition and restriction as may be prescribed. What kind of restriction, what kind of conditions which is prescribed under Act? So let me explain that. A registered person shall entitled to take credit of ITC from the proceeding from the day from which they becomes liable to pay tax under CGST Act. I think since last 2-3 sections also we have seen, and we have very much confirmed that it is ITC will be applicable and to be eligible only for them who is having the output tax liability. If there is no output tax liability, you cannot avail the input tax credit. I have given you very effective example of like we human being, like we Indian citizen, we have PAN number, but we do not have GST number. So in such cases, when we are paying the tax to the Indian Railway, or when we are booking the flight ticket, so in such cases, whatever the tax we have paid, if I would have any GSTN number, I could have got that ITC benefit. But as we do not have, then in that case, I am not eligible to get ITC. But in place of me, if someone from company whose board of director is traveling, and then they are taking the ITC, they are paying the tax to the railway booking, or their goods are transported and they are paying tax on those product. So those tax which they have paid, they can avail the input tax credit whenever it is required. So it is very much clear, and this restriction is there from the day when you are liable to pay the. Suppose subsequently I have started my own business, okay, and I have got my GST number. In such cases, what I will do, then whatever the GST is charged from me, I can get those. Suppose I have paid the GST to Indian Railway. Those GST I can avail the benefit when I am using output tax credit, output tax liability. Then section 18 subsection 1 clause B specifying a person who takes the registration under section 25. So I'll tell you how we will take. So kindly make underline. So registration, compulsory registration is given under section 25. As I told you from the beginning, section 22 to 30 is talking about registration of a person. Okay, when registration is required, when registration is not required, so on and so forth. In such cases, so a person who takes registration under section 25 subsection 3 shall be entitled to take ITC of input held on the stock of raw material or WIP or finished goods, whatever the goods they may operating with or they are concerned with. Any registered person under section 10 shall be entitled to take ITC of input held of the stock under raw material, WIP and finished goods. So again, I think you can recollect and remember when we talk about section 10, section 10 is nothing but composition scheme. Okay, then when section 11 was talking about exemption. So when composition scheme, people are also getting registered themselves towards making the payment of your their raw material or WIP or finished goods. In such cases, they will also be eligible to get input tax credit. Then we have section 18 subsection 1 clause D, where an exempt supply of goods services by restricted person became a taxable supply. Such persons shall entitled to take ITC for their raw material, work in progress or finished goods. This all has been discussed and deliberated under section 18 subsection 1. Under section 18 subsection 2 talks about a registered person shall not be entitled to take ITC under section 18(1) in respect of any supply after the expiry of 1 year from the date of issue of tax invoice. So this is prescribing the limit by when I can avail the benefit of ITC. So after a year, you cannot avail the benefit of ITC from the day when you are issuing the invoice. Then we have section 18 subsection 3, where the changes, where there is a change in condition of a registered person, an account of sale, merger, demerger, amalgamation, lease or transfer of the business with the specific provisions for transfer of liability, the said person shall allow to transfer, utilize, unutilized ITC to electronic credit ledger account. So suppose there is amalgamation, or suppose there is a acquisition or lease or merger or demerger. So whatever the ITC is left, which the previous company has not availed, the subsequent company can definitely ask for that benefit and they will avail the benefit of that. Section 18 subsection 4 says, where any registered person who is availing the ITC opts to pay the tax under section 11, that is exempted section, he shall pay the amount by way of debit or electronic credit ledger or electronic cash ledger equivalent to the credit of input tax in respect of input of the stock held with them. And section 18 subsection 5 talks the amount of credit under subsection 1, that is 18(1), and the amount payable under subsection 4 shall be calculated in such a manner as may be prescribed. In case of supply of capital goods, ITC has been taken to the registered person shall pay an amount equal to ITC of the transaction value of section 15, which we have learned earlier. Okay. So whatever the output tax liability we have on the value of supply, we can avail the benefit of input tax credit. Then here there are two rules, Rule 41 and Rule 42. Rule 41 talks about transfer of credit on sale of merger, amalgamation, lease. So of course it is assisting subsection 3 of section 18, and Rule 42 talks about manner of reversal of credit in special circumstances. Only here you have to be specific when it comes to section 19, 20 and 21. These are one-liner, we will finish fast. So just complete your section 18 first. And if you have any doubt, feel free to ask me, no problem. So it is section 18, subsection 1, clause A, B, C, D. So first you complete till here, then let me know, then we will proceed further. Please update once we are finishing section 18, subsection A, section 18, subsection 1, clause A, B, C, then we will proceed further. Thank you, Payal. Other students, other than Payal who has completed, please let me know. Thank you, Kajal. So what basically it states, a registered person shall be entitled to take credit from the day of liable to make the payment of output tax. A person who takes the registration, we will discuss in detail when section 22 to section 30 we are going to deal with. So how the registration take place. Then section 18 subsection 1 clause C, any registered person under section 10, you know section 10 is talking about composition scheme, is entitled to take input ITC of input held as a stock of anything, raw material, WIP or finished goods or capital goods. Now let us talk about section D also. So sections 18 subsection 2 talks about a registered person shall not be entitled to take the ITC, that is input tax credit, under section 18, which we have just discussed, in respect of any supply after the expiry of one date from issue of tax invoice. Now, see, please be careful. When we talk about time of supply, then we may take anything, whichever is earlier. But when here it is coming, the issue of tax invoice, that means only the tax invoice date, nothing else. Okay. So Payal has completed. What about remaining? Thank you, Shantosh, Kajal. Now let us proceed further. Thank you, Pratik. So kindly take down remaining subsections 3, 4, and update once these two subsections are over. Then we'll proceed further. Section 3 and 4 is done. Then we may proceed further. थैंक यू एवरीवन। तो थोड़ा फास्ट लिखेंगे तो अपना ITC will be over. Go for section 5 and 6. Other than Payal has completed subsection 5 and 6 also. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Priya. So after this, we need to write 2 rules. Kindly take down these 2 rules. Rule 41 and 42, which talks about transfer of credit. on sale, merger, amalgamation, lease, transfer. So of course, this is assisting section 18, subsection 3 of CGST Act. After that, section 19, which talks about of CGST Act, provides the principle a person supplying taxable goods to job workers shall be entitled to take credit of input tax credit on input sent to the job worker for the job work. Section 20 talks about manner of distribution of credit of input tax credit and their distribution. Section 21 says that input service distributors shall distribute in such a manner as prescribed by the credit of CGST, SGST, IGST. I told you that story earlier also. Okay, by issue of prescribed document containing the inter alia the amount of input tax credit being distributed or being reduced further. So for section 21, there is amendment take place this year. For that, I required 5 to 10 minutes of yours. Of course, attendance will be given. So once this lecture is getting over, kindly rejoin with the same login ID and password. First, take down these three, and then we will take it up to new amendment and modification which took place for ITC.